more than Abhay, it's the villains of the show that make it more appealing, more interesting, and what it is. I can talk about my own personal frustrations and agendas, and this is the mahal for it, but that is not going to achieve what works. We need a healthier marketplace.
Pleasure having you. Before I go on with Abhay too, I just want to say I enjoyed Loot Case. It was
Thank you, man.
It was probably the first film I enjoyed, the first Hindi film that came on OTT during lockdown. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Maza aa gaya. Nice Quentin Tarantino meets Guy Ritchie meets Desi White. Pura maza aa gaya.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think so और भी मजा आने वाला है आपके upcoming project में Abhay 2. And Abhay 1, we saw you being a mastermind who can think like a criminal, and we were searching for missing kids. Abhay 2, the person you're up against seems to be even a bigger mastermind. So what is it about that? इस बार आपकी क्या चुनौती है, and what are the greater challenges you're facing?
I mean, you'll explore that in the show, and I wouldn't want to take, but you're right. This time it is wits versus wits.
Yeah.
The villain is also somebody who's very complicated and is very intelligent. And what is the bigger challenge for Abhay this time is that there are children's lives at stake. And everything that he has to do is very time bound. And if he does not finish it in that particular time, there are repercussions to that. So you will see it in the show, how slowly you get into that world, and how Abhay, while he's also solving other crimes, has to take on this case, and why has he been selected for that case, and all of those revelations will happen in the season.
Speaking about the popularity of the show, obviously second season is coming because the first season was quite popular. Are you all thinking of more seasons, or you all are having a wait and watch policy, seeing how season 2 turns out? And B, if the show becomes more and more successful in the West, we have seen spin-offs happening, where after certain seasons a movie comes. It happened with Breaking Bad, it happened with Veronica Mars.
Sure.
Do you think so?
Sure.
Abhay can also follow that path.
I mean, we'll be very lucky if he reaches that place, because all of that is dependent on the love that the show gets from the audiences. But I do feel that Abhay and the world that it is set in does at least have the potential and the capabilities of venturing into everything that we discussed, whether it's multiple seasons or doing a spin-off, because crime is something that happens on a daily basis. And that's why we've also loved shows like this, even in the West, whether it was, a Sherlock Holmes or Elementary or Luther, because crimes happen and villains are interesting. And I think shows, even with Abhay, I think more than Abhay, is the villains of the show that make it more appealing, more interesting, and what it is. So as long as that happens, you can find an interesting beat to have around the whole season, but it is something that can be done multiple times.
Kunal, you've always been a fantastic actor, right? Forget about the movie, forget about Kalyug also. I'm talking right from your child actor days, whether it was, I remember I loved seeing you in Bhai. It was such an adorable role, and when you were dying in Sunil Shetty's arms, I mean to say, it was like a seasoned actor doing that role. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so that was so nice. But do you think so that now with the OTT platforms is when people are really, I mean, at least that generation who was probably not so well versed with Bhai or the other movies, is really that woken up and said, my God, Kunal can do the kind of roles and all, which probably you were not getting in Bollywood. OTT has given you that platform, given you that variety.
But to be completely honest, I wouldn't take that away from films or cinema also, because I think if it was, whether it was a Kalyug or a Zakhm or a Hame Rahe Pyar Ke or a Bhai, or then later on in life, a Go Goa Gone, a 99, or even a Loot Case today, and then a Malang and a Kalank, which kind of gave me the opportunity to get into that darker space. It all came from films. Little does one know that actually after comedies, just about when Kalank and Malang came into my life, I think a few weeks before that, Abhay had reached out, I got offered that show. So it did become the first platform to give me an opportunity to play that, but it also happened in films itself. It is a slightly more tedious, tiresome, a longer wait and a longer process to reach that in films, because that whole model is based on a box office revenue collection. And that and that has only gotten tougher and tighter with time. Whereas now the business is decided in not even a week anymore, in a weekend. On
Yes.
the opening day,
Yes.
projections are made. Some gyanis come and tell you whether the film will work only or not on a
Not
Friday.
not all of it true.
Exactly. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, but because
Yeah.
it's majorly, and I think that's where the whole fight and the debate that is taking up today
Yeah.
is because of that. Because I think more than anything else, that system needs to be fixed a little bit,
Yeah.
because it has become a slightly unfair playing field, not just because of one particular filmmaker or a producer or a director or a production house, but the entire system has become slightly tilted towards that. And I say everybody is responsible in that, not just the makers, but also people who promote it and the whole ecosystem. I feel
Even
like
the
even
audience.
you, uh, audiences.
Yeah.
See, the audience will anyways be the decisive factor, but that is the last factor. If the audience does not know what is there in front of me, why do we say that on an OTT platform we found a place where content works? Because it is a unique platform where everything is in front of
Yeah.
me. I can start this and watch it, not caring,
Yeah.
because it's my one subscription. Because the business model is such, it is, nobody can be blamed for it, because because it's sad that the business has reached a place and everything is numbers. Everybody wants to be in a profit making business, and that's why we've reached this space. So I think OTT is a good injection in that direction of kind
Yeah.
of, for us to say that, oh, content is important. Oh wow, this is a talented actor. I never knew about this actor. I never knew about this writer. What a brilliant show, what a brilliant film. So it is given us. So I think it's kind of taken the pressure off a little bit. But having said that, I think cinemas are there to stay, because nothing can replicate the whole experience of watching the
Absolutely.
film in a cinema hall.
Absolutely.
I wanted to be an actor because the effects movies had on me in a cinema hall.
Yeah. That being said, I must say, I just want to say that Malang is my favorite. I mean, you can check my review. I'm not saying this because the interview is in my review,
See,
and I wrote it in my review that Malang is my favorite Bollywood film so far this year. It
thank you so much,
reminded
man.
me of a Korean thriller. You
Thank
make
you.
some really valid points, Kunal, and you are in a unique position to make those points. I must say, probably the best position to make those points. You started as a child artist, but obviously you have come from what they call the proverbial outsider. At the same time, you're closely connected to the oldest film family in the industry. Do you think so? The audience's venting right now is also kind of misguided. Like you said, they have been part of the ecosystem, even if they are the final step. And considering
You
what
know, actually, if you, sorry,
with
yeah.
considering if you see how they have vented it out on Sadak 2, where just an actress for no fault of us is part of the trailer, do you think so it is now a bit going overboard, is misguided now?
See, right now there is a lot of noise.
Yeah,
But what is interesting to see is that this noise somewhere started on a very legit issue.
agreed.
And but it kind of got misguided, and then there, because when there is noise and everybody is talking, you know that वो होता है ना कि कभी रेलवे स्टेशन पे आप जाते थे, फिर आपको दिखता था कोई किसी को मार रहा है, और
हाँ,
फिर
हाँ,
उसमें
हाँ,
भीड़ जड़ जाती थी,
yeah,
और फिर एंड में पूछते थे लोग, हमने मारा उसको
तुम्हारा,
लेकिन क्यों मारा,
yeah,
पता नहीं क्यों मारा. तो आधे लोग तो ऐसे हैं जिनको एक्चुअली पूरा पता भी नहीं है. And I can only speak for myself. It's a democracy. Everybody has a right to say
true,
what they say.
true.
But I feel that what is important is that there is a basic issue that needs to be addressed and fixed, which should not be forgotten in all the hatred that we are trying to do. But also at the same time, you have to understand that people are also agitated not by, there are only certain things that are agitating them. They're not agitated by everything. There is it's like saying if cricket and films are two religions in our country, now just look at a cricket game, and if you go to a stadium to watch it, but you're watching 11 players who are not delivering any game,
Uh,
then you'll be like, there is only one Sachin who's playing well, or one Sehwag, or this. What about the rest? I'm
yes,
not going to come to the stadium. But only when we have a brilliant team like we have today, you'll be like, no, man, I want to go and see this in a stadium because it's an amazing thing. So the problem is not with the entire industry.
yeah,
And even having said so, it's slightly unfortunate and misdirected when one person kind of is put under the spotlight and victimized
yeah,
for, honestly, I don't think it is personally that person's fault.
yeah,
Uh, at least all of it.
yeah,
But I mean, this is the time when all of this is coming out. So, I mean, you have to face it. I mean, there are times where I feel that uh, yeah, I mean, I can talk about my own personal frustrations and agendas, and this is the mahal for it, but that is not going to achieve what works. We
Yeah.
need a healthier marketplace. We need a healthier marketplace. And right now, it's important that the people who finally make this business run are interested in it, are talking about it. I hope that this is not a social media banter that is going on, and it is actually a mindset,
Yes. Yes.
which we will only know if we come back to theaters, because on OTT, it's very nice to celebrate or put down a film, but we don't know how the business works. It
Correct.
will not change my life professionally in a way, because if when the theater is still open, I will still be judged with my last box office. Correct? Now,
And
it doesn't matter if that film was good or
Palan was
bad.
a hit. Thank God for that.
No, exactly. But I'm saying, but that has to change.
Yeah,
We
that
will
has
know then.
that
It is one thing to show hate towards a person or a film on social media. We will see if you buy those tickets or not. That'll happen then. So once that happens, then we'll be able to comment on this environment that we are in.
this so many stars are coming forth and telling hashtag CBI for SSR. Think it's all genuine, or and should we be waiting till it
You
is
know, Russell, honestly, that is something that I don't want to belittle to a comment that I make,
okay?
uh, because I think it's very personal to the family that's had that loss.
Yeah,
It's I do not want to judge who's genuine or not genuine about that, because I'm not in that position.
true.
I feel very sorry for what happened, and I think there are people who are looking at it. If there is so much, there is a need for some people to know it, then I think that should happen. It's a democracy. The people asking for something, it should happen.
Yeah,
But I don't think we should jump the gun on anything
yeah,
this way or that way. We should not be the ones deciding, because we are still getting our information from phones, televisions,
Mhm.
and nothing more, because we're all in a lockdown, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to be slightly more sensible and sympathetic towards this.
Finally, congratulations are in order, not just for your films. There is a new bundle of joy coming in your household.
Yes.
So congratulations are in order. I'm sure you knew about it. It all took us by surprise. It's out of nowhere, but I'm sure you knew about it. To say, well, what is the mahal in the household right now? Probably will be very happy. A new companion for Temur and Inaya both.
Yes, I mean, we're excited. We're very happy with it, and we hope that everything goes well. And we're very excited to welcome this new member in the family.
Yes. And final word, A, on Abhay 2, besides Kunal Kemmu, the biggest USP of Abhay 2, A. And B, we would also like a final word because we are dying for it. What's it about Go Goa Gone to?
Okay, firstly, the USP of Abhay too, like I said, more than Abhay, it's the villains who make it. We have great actors who are coming and also breaking their molds, whether it is Ram Kapoor, who's always been seen as this really, really nice guy,
Yeah.
is playing a very dark and twisted villain. Chunky Sir, who's always been celebrated for comedies, he's also playing an interesting part. Bibita Bhag, uh, there's Ashima, there is Raghav Jewel, there is Indraneel. There's wonderful actors who've come and played these amazingly twisted and dark villains in this show. So yeah, they are the USP of the show, and I'm very excited to see how, because maybe when we shoot, I'm not there when they shoot the crime. So I'm also very excited to see how the crime kind of is being
Okay.
shown.
Yeah, yeah.
So that. Secondly, Go Goa Gone, man. I mean, blessed are those who are in this position like I am, to have a film that is still being talked about with so much love and anticipation 8 years after it released, and after being a film that nobody believed in, which
Yeah.
three people in a room, Raj, DK, and myself, kind of thought that was great.
Broke mold.
I know. So I don't know, man. Honestly, officially, there is no word on it. I've always had conversations with everybody involved, and the intent is there, but I don't know, logistical, administrative, whatever those issues are, they need to align. So officially, I don't know.
But is it a perfect time? Spree work and household worked horror comedies. So this is a perfect time.
I'm saying forget all of that. Go Goa Gone worked.
Yeah.
We
Go,
would be
go,
talking
go,
about
go,
Go
go.
Goa Gone if
Yeah.
Go Goa Gone
Yeah.
didn't work. But like I said, it's not in my hands, man. If it was completely in my hands, we would have started making the film the day we finished the first one.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Kunal. Brilliant
Thank you,
as
Russell.
always. It's never less brilliant talking to you. Brilliant as always. Looking forward to Abhay too and all your future projects. So all the best for them.
Thank you, man. You take care. See you.
You too. You too.